They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you a...
Yeah, I know y'all haven't seen me in a minute. I've been out. Well, you know what? I gotta make sure I'm going live on IG. You know what I mean? But anyway, you're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by founder of CWall Sports Entertainment and Bowie TV's Commanders reporter, Candi Waller. What's going on, Candi?
Hey, Wole, how are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. Like last week I was sick, so I couldn't do the show.
What were you sick?
Houston. But I'm trying to get all my energy back, all my bearings. I miss y'all, you know what I mean? Plus life would be lifing, so sometimes I need to take a mental health break too at the same time. So I am back. I am back to normal, ready to rock and roll. Before we hold on, I see some comments, so I will make sure. What's going on, Paul? Hey, Mike, what's up, dog? I haven't seen you in a minute. What is going on? But yeah, before we get into the topic of today, let's knock down some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Excuse me, I can't even talk. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. Please hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. And like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, Candi, let's get in the business, man. Candi, you was live in the building, man. You was live at the NFL owners meeting in Florida. Coach Quinn said that the Commanders left tackle Brandon Coleman would be moving to right tackle. What was your thoughts when you heard that?
I mean, I think my thoughts were make sense. Right. I know that's some of the conversation that we've had on this show about moving Brandon, right? It's like early on, it was like, well, what are they going to do about offensive tackle? It was like, well, they got Brandon. And then they made the trade for Laramie. And it was like, okay, I guess then Brandon would move to left guard, but they're going to try him at right tackle first, and they'll try him at guard. They're going to show a little versatility there just to see in terms of moving around. But Coach was open and honest and direct about starting. And when he says starting, it's not the starter. They're going to start trying it at right tackle first, right? And then go from there.
So, like you seen him often, last year, and you were very impressed with his physicality. Do you think he can make that transition?
Who, Brandon Coleman?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I remember that was one of my, I was delighted, very excited about Brandon through OTAs and definitely during training camp. He dealt with the injury. He dealt with the minor injury, going through that. That ended up happening. But I think so. One of the things that you'll hear them talk about, and it's funny to me at times because I remember that was one of the things that even Coach Rivera would talk about, right? The versatility. And while we might not want to talk about it too much, you do have to credit Ron Rivera for making the move with Sam Cosby, right?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it worked. It did work.
Give me flowers. Okay.
So I give, I'm big on giving people flowers. Yeah. So I'm going to, keep it, me. I'm going to be objective.
100.
So he did do that. But this regime really does are able to see it in multiple players and know when to enact those changes when necessary, right? We're dealing with the fact that Sam Cosby does have a very serious injury and he will be recovering from that. So we talked a little bit about this, but to hear Coach Quinn openly say, yeah, we're going to move him, start there and go from there. I think it's a good deal. And he mentioned again what they're about, competition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now it becomes a little bit of Coleman, a little bit of Wiley. Let's see what happens here. They're going to be moving some people around. The competition, as Coach Dan Quinn would say is how they get down. That's how they're gonna get down. I think I remember even sharing on this show, definitely on mine, that I said, "Oh man, last year training camp was like, wow, this training camp. Bring your popcorn. Bring your
popcorn. It's all about competition. Definitely about competition. So, I mean, do you think that, and I pose this question on like social media, but do you think that Brandon Coleman can be like a Pro Bowl caliber or all pro type of right tackle since he's making that transition?
I think he could. I mean, he could be, but I mean, a lot of people could be. But I think that, I had to, and shout out to Darrell on this is the cameraman extraordinaire for Bowie TV, because at the appropriate times he was only focused on Coach Quinn, which is a good thing, because there were times where I know I made a face possibly or two, and that was one time that I did, because I kind of smiled and smirked like, oh, of course you're moving him to right tackle. And I think he could absolutely have a Pro Bowl caliber. He had an excellent year, a great year, but even with understanding and learning the different roles on the line, which we know there were times in game, whether people realize it or not, they had to make some switcheroos because people were having to go out because they were injured or whatever the case may be. He's going to be just a bear to deal with on the offensive line, because he's going to understand how to play so many different positions very well.
Yeah, I do. I think that the transition. I think he'll would be a great guard. But I do like what you said and what he stated, that he's going to start with him at right tackle. So basically, he's saying that I'm giving you all the leeway right now. You're going to start at the right tackle. If you don't perform, then we're going to have to go a different route. But we're going to start you at right tackle, and we're going to see from there what we can, what's going to happen from there. I like that. I applaud it. I think it's a great way of doing things, a great way of teaching and nurturing young talent. Not giving, because I felt like as a rookie at left tackle, and I think my man Deluxe has stated this before in the chat. What's up, Deluxe? For a rookie left tackle, he played pretty well to me.
Yeah. I mean, and they've added other depth on the offensive line. So they're getting bigger, they're getting stronger at that line of scrimmage. We talk a lot about the defensive line, but don't forget about they made some adds to the offensive line as well, right? Yeah. So the overall competition is going to be serious. And then when you think about from a depth perspective, hey, because you need that, right? We know that last season's offensive line, they started out really strong, but what started happening, unfortunately, inevitably, was injuries. As the season went on, they started getting banged up. And that's how it gets especially when you got that late bye, but they had like a week 13, week 14 bye. So they started getting real out there around week 8, week 9 for that offensive line in terms of injuries. And halfway through the season, that's how it goes. So it will be an interesting thing. I was like I said, I had to kind of smile to myself and chuckle, like, of course y'all are gonna switch him over there. That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, so I do. I think that's in terms of like the move. I think the move is a great move. I was more in favor. I'm gonna ask you this question. Were you more in favor of him? Because we were talking about this prior. Were you more in favor of him being right tackle or move to a guard?
I was more in favor of guard. But then of course when Coach Quinn said it, I was like, okay, of course you did. You know what I mean? Of course, that's where you're going to start trying them out first. Yeah. Because then the switch back to guard isn't bad. I mean, you guys still got Nick Allegretti. You have other pieces there. Yeah. But the key indicator there is not forgetting and having to remember that Sam Cosmi.
Maybe when he comes back, if he can come back healthy,
that's right. So you got to put him. You got to put Brandon somewhere in the interim. Somebody's got to go there. It's not going to be Cos. So, hey, kind of is what it is. See what happens there. And it's not going to be, or it won't be Wiley, excuse me. He's hurt. You can't necessarily, you get what I'm saying. I'm mixing everybody's name up. But late nights, early mornings this week, y'all. So, you know what I mean? It's what I'm talking about, because the battles will end up being between Andrew Wiley and Brandon Coleman. But My thing is this. Here's what I want to say, because I keep saying the name's wrong. But whatever is going to ignite the highest level of competition, because the reality is people earn their spot on this roster.
Yes.
Period.
Facts.
Nothing is going to be given to anybody. So whatever is going to bring the uptick in the competition while getting better, right? Because they really don't know what they're going to do, because they had a key player hurt. You know where Thompson's going to go.
Yeah, we already know he's booking.
He's going to go whenever he gets back, but you don't know when he's going to get back. But the reality is they got to get better on the offensive line. They just do.
No, and my man, what's going on? What did my man Todd say? I get the logic of trying him at right tackle first, because if he can shine there, our line will be set for the next 4 years. Agreed. So I do like, that's what I like about it. I do think, and what I like about it is that if he doesn't do well at right tackle, I think he will be an all-world. I think he could be an all-world guard. So I think the transition he would still be good at either side. I think that, but to Todd's point, if he's successful at right tackle, you're set. Like, you're just set. And now now that line is such a great position. And again, for a rookie to play left, a rookie that was drafted where he was drafted, to play that well at left tackle. And yeah, at the end of the season, he started getting, but as a rookie, at the end of the season, he started kind of struggling in play. But for him to play that well where he was drafted, to me, and knowing that that's the most difficult side for a right-handed, like if you got a right-handed quarterback, it's the most difficult side playing left tackle. If you're a left-handed quarterback, usually your right tackle is your best tackle. But since Jayden's a right-hander, it's a blind spot, you know what I mean? So he did a good job, I think, moving him to right tackle in a position where it'd be easier for Jayden to see rush to as well, to avoid sacks and whatnot. And knowing how Coleman played at left tackle, I think Coleman will play just as well at right tackle. I think it's a good move just to try to, if you're looking to project, like in terms of projection, thinking like, I believe he can play right tackle and play well, that it's a good move. It really is. Mm-hmm. It's definitely forward thinking, and it's something that, I know I'm not to bash the prior regime, but they didn't have this type of forward thinking.
Not like that. Like I said, I give flowers for the one. I give flowers for the one. But in terms of how they are looking at, because a bit of this conversation about players and switching them up also is coming up when it comes to the corner position. Mm-hmm. Right. Even a little bit, if you really think about the line, the defensive line as well, they really are showcasing whether or not we want to realize it up front or use our clues to understand it. Right. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to go back to something that I think I hit you up about, Wole, which was about going back to something that Coach Quinn said at Combine when asked about Mikey and Brandon. Was like, that if we have to move them, we can. Yeah. That was key. That's how I knew already. Okay, they definitely moving Brandon, and more than likely, we talk about a lot of bit of the movie with Jonathan Jones. Others, they have come on the team too. Okay, they probably gonna move Mikey again too. Don't know, but here's what we do know: we know that he could do both. Yeah, and that's what they're growing there. That's what they're doing there. Because sometimes, hey, depending on the game, depending on what's going on, you might have to switch people out.
Facts.
Depending on what's happening, because we did see that in the wild card game against Tampa. So,
depending if someone's struggling or whatnot. But I think back to the point, like I just think that like this is like, if anything, it just shows you this regime is so much different from than the prior regime.
Oh yeah,
like you think like they're playing chess when people are playing checkers. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, when Coach Quinn said, and I think it was like a preseason, he said, "I understand the way you all are asking me questions, but we're trying to set Jayden up for we're not trying to set Jayden up for a remarkable game. We're trying to set him up for a remarkable career." Right? The question was about Jayden, but I believe, to your point, and I think to one of the comments in the chat box, they're set for the next 4 years. So in order for Jayden to have a remarkable career, guess what? That line got to be right.
It got to be right. Got to be right. Oh, yeah. Mike got a question for you. Candi, will you be at the draft?
Absolutely
See,
not.
you already know. You said you what?
No.
You're not going to the draft?
No.
Oh, damn. I thought it was a guarantee.
Do I have to school you on this one? Now, listen. When it comes to the draft.
Yeah, school me.
Absolutely not. Because.
Yeah, I want to know why.
My responsibilities are in Ashburn.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. This is like a little known secret, right? This becomes when CWall tells too much of the truth, right? Potentially. Because
oh man, Todd said, who going to Green Bay?
And I never go to the draft. And the reason why I've never been to the draft, now, surprise, everyone, you might be shocked to hear this. I have never been to the NFL draft. And the reason why I have not ever been to the NFL draft is because I learned very, very early on that the work of the team that you cover happens on site. So I've never been an NFL reporter. I'm the commander. I'm one of the commanders, report of the Commanders beat. So we meet with the leadership and the decision makers every night, right? Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday evening. And then you have the first round pick, or their first pick of the draft, I should say, right? Will come in that Friday. Right. So what am I leaving for? To go where and do what?
Eric was kidding around.
Oh, what? I don't even know what he says.
I think Eric was.
And I think that's a lot of things that people don't realize. Like when you're on site with the team, your work is done on the beat at the facility. So I'm always at the facility. I'm all dolled up and dressed up like I got somewhere to go on draft night, though. Let's be clear. But no. And this year I may not. Because they at 29. And I might be in there like.
Yeah, 29. You got that's a.
What 29. Y'all doing? I really might not be up to too much. Like,
Oh, like, hey, good point.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So you learn something today, thumbs up if you learn something today. When you are connected to a team, you're not going there. Not for
I ain't
me.
gonna lie. If I was covering, even if I could, I ain't going no Green Bay. I'll keep.
That is one event I will honor. That is one NFL event, sporting event that I have never done because I've just always been in Ashburn draft night. All dolled up like I was going, but.
I'm with y'all though. I ain't doing no Green Bay. It's too cold, and I like cold weather, but I've seen that film on TV. It looks dangerously cold. I ain't cool with dangerously cold. I like cold, but I ain't cool with dangerous cold. Like dangerous cold is a whole different beast to me. Like I don't need that. That like you get your foot cut off pretty easily off that type of cold. I ain't down for that. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to so Candi, you kind of mentioned a little bit about Jonathan Jones, but you asked Coach about team leadership and the signings of Jonathan Jones and also Lineman Dietrich Wise Jr. Let me play the clip because I thought it was a real good, insightful question. Oh, you always ask insightful questions. No, when I thought you always do. What are we doing here?
Hey.
Anyway, here with Candi when she was asking Coach Quinn questions. Amazing.
So, Coach, one of the kind of characteristics that I've noticed when you bring in vets as well as rookies is that they've been team captains before. So, kind of how important is that leadership characteristic coming in?
Yeah, I think that's probably a byproduct of looking for that because it's not something that we put as a filter, but we do really value what leadership can be, and it's not all the same. And I don't think a person's born, as a leader. I think they're made, and so when you see it happening in college, like, okay, you can see that, happening on your team. When you see it or on another club around the league, a lot of times that will transfer over. So it's an important piece, and the best of the best, can find where are their ways to lead. Not everybody's, out front and center everything, but it is important to find their own space. And we've got a lot of leaders on our team, and not just leaders that are going to be at the Commanders, but like in life after football. And so I really value that part of connecting with the guys. They're going to be leaders in their communities, their families, businesses, and things post-football. So I really dig into that top to card with them.
And bringing in Dietrich Wise and Jonathan Jones, what do you all see in them and what they've done in the league over the years? And you thought they would be good commanders, great commanders.
We do. And why don't we start with Jonathan first? So it's the speed and the tackling, that set them apart. He came into the league really the way that you like to see somebody really proving it on special teams and going for it. But the speed is something that, playing on the outside and playing in the slot, the ability to match up onto people, that's a big deal, and that's demonstrated. And then with Dietrich, I always just, even him coming out, he's got pass rush, he can play square in the run game, so he's a really versatile player. And sometimes you want some guys that can move into different locations, Candi, because now they can handle more than one job. And I think whether it's a safety that can play down in the box on third down, or a linebacker, or a linebacker like Frankie that can do a rush, or Dietrich who can play outside and inside, players that can do more than just one thing and add value that way, that's a big deal.
And first of all, I agree with Paul, man. Here, look, man. Look.
Thank you.
I agree with Paul, man. I agree with Paul. But yeah, I thought those are fantastic questions. That was a fantastic response, because you're right. He tends to pick players in terms of like good leadership qualities, and you hit it on the head. So, but could you speak on like what was your thoughts on his answer?
Well, as soon as he was talking, at the end, right, I said that's exactly it. Again, with being able to play them in different spots. They don't do plays that just can do one thing. We're not dealing with any one-trick ponies around here. These are folks who can do more than one thing as the situation, a game situation evolves, and an opponent evolves, because that's all a part of gamesmanship too, right? As you're planning and people get more and more film on you, you have to be able to, the kids see you coming. They don't know. They already know what you're going to do. They're already going to know your move, your best move, and that's not where they're going with this, for what I can tell. And that's one of the reasons why I asked. The leadership thing has just been something I've been tracking, right? And because that has been over time and over years, has always been who's the leader in the room? Who are the leaders? Needing leaders. We got into a conversation about that, right? In one of the last shows we did here. And so it becomes wait a minute. Some of these guys, they're coming in. They were team captains, whether it was an undergrad on the undergrad team or the team they were previously on. They have been in leadership roles. Excellent point, though. Of course, the Coach Quinn's point is, but they're going to be leaders. But you also, did you peep game? Or you say, who are the leaders in the locker room? What did he say? We got a lot of leaders in that.
A lot of leaders, yep.
And I've been telling you that. I'm like, well, this is a different vibe around here. I don't have to pick just one or two or three or try to figure it out. They all over the place, right? They all over the place. And so with the additions too, with Dietrich and Jonathan, I think I was telling Lake this on his show. I was really, really jealous. Truth be told, for me, I'm like, those are two underrated signers right there. You want to know why? Because they champions. They champions. And they have played with a quarterback that could arguably be known as the GOAT.
I mean, yeah, they call him the GOAT.
You know what I mean? But arguably, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, arguably. I mean, he ain't my favorite, but they call him the GOAT.
But hey, 6, 7 Super Bowl rings, whatever it is, a whole lot of them. It's quite impressive, especially when you went and got one with a team when you was just like, watch this. You think I was washed? Watch this. What you think I'm washed? Watch this.
Watch this.
You go
watch me work.
Washed. All right. Got you. Noted. And you go and win a Super Bowl in your first year with another team. True. Right? But they've played with a quarterback of that caliber. They understand what it's like. Those types of things are the things that I look for, you all. Okay, we're gonna talk talent, because hey, if they're on the NFL, we would like to think that they're talented. Okay, but I want to know, what kind of human they are, what kind of person they are. But I also want to see, who have you been around? How do you know how to operate? How do you really get down? Because I know how these people get down, and I also know in terms of what they believe. I've never seen the Commander standard. Let me also preface it by saying that I've never seen it. but I know what it is, and based on what I have witnessed and what I've learned, and based on putting all of the using of the clues together of all the things that they have dedicated to themselves to the players, now I'm looking at who they've signed, and I'm like, oh, okay. I think those were probably two of the best signings. I was really excited about those two additions to the team. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I really am. And that is also because I've also been doing some other research and trying to, reading the room and understanding the kind of guys they are. And those were two very good signings.
Yeah, because they're overachievers.
You overachievers. You had a coach that was an overachiever, right? And a quarterback who was an overachiever. So you only really know one way to be.
No, I agree. I think that they kind of fit the mold, right? Folks that they may not be the sexy pick, but they work hard and they grind. You know what I mean? Like they weren't in the situation of like, all right, where they were well regarded off the rip and coming out of college or whatever, and they kind of made their way in the league to be successful players. And like you said, they're champions, right? You can't. That's something you do. Want that characteristic in the locker room, especially after you got to the championship game, right? All right. Well, let's bring guys who actually done it and won it before. We have Bobby in the building. Yeah, we got Bobby, but is that about it? I think who's won a championship in the building
on this team? Huh? Did Zach win one?
Zach, sorry, too. Zach Ertz, those two.
Yeah, but it's still just two.
It's two. But now you're adding more individuals in the locker room that's done it before. You know what I mean? And they've done it at a high level. So, and like you said, they played with. You can make this. I'm not going to say that those individuals play with a guy when they haven't. They're playing with a guy that you arguably go to whatever was the best quarterback in the league when he was playing. You know, make that argument all you want. And you got a quarterback here in Jayden that's on that, like when you project him to be on that level, you can't say the same, like even as much as people like Russell Wilson, like he wasn't like gonna be like, he was good, he was solid, he was good, but he wasn't going to ever be on a level to, in my opinion, ever as the best quarterback in football. Or even, I think Zach Ertz got it with what's the Nick Foles, right? Wasn't he was a journeyman. But you got a guy in the league in Jayden who's going to arguably, you can say, without a shadow of a doubt, when you survey the landscape of quarterbacks, you can come up and say, you know what, he has an opportunity to be the best quarterback in football. And I think that knowing that, going into a situation and seeing that what you saw with Tom Brady, and you can bring that in to help the maturation process of Jayden Daniels, I think is great.
You know, I tell someone asked me this week, they were like something about Jayden's offseason. And I said, well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people get a kick out of watching workout videos or something.
Yeah, I don't really get in the workout videos.
But I'm like, if anybody's paying attention, you already know Jayden's been working out in South California with Sam Hartman. That's not been a secret. That is actually said publicly. Marcus Mariota said it in his sign, and he was like, yeah, I think he's still out there with Sam. So that's that, right? The other thing that Jayden loves the most, and he has already said this in a public press conference, if he wasn't playing football, he'd probably be playing basketball. So where do you see Jayden most of the time? At a basketball game.
Yeah. He's a juju.
He loves sports. He be at all the games. He really do. He would be there. Yeah, and so it's like
mom hating and stuff.
You here, like that's all he does, and it's like good. That's a great thing. And so I don't. It's yes to arguably one of the best quarterbacks in football. You know what I mean? I think that he impressed everybody. Speaking of Tom Brady, I remember, oh gosh, what game was that when he was covering it? And I felt like it's always so interesting. I feel like when veteran quarterbacks or retired quarterbacks see Jayden, it's like they got to stop in their tracks and go and talk to him.
Yeah.
It's like they're so impressed by it. And I pay attention to stuff like that. Like,
they all should talk to him.
Let me see who's going over here to talk to Jay. I mean, do they want his autograph? Because I mean, it just be like,
look, like good quarterbacks, they're in the club. They got their own separate club, and you can't talk if you ain't good. You can't talk to them. Like I've seen, like you see it, like when you're that good, everybody want to talk to you. When you're that good, unless you're standoffish, and he ain't standoffish, everybody wants to talk to you when you're a good quarterback. They all in their separate club, like. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning barely really talked. Like they were competitors, but they're cool because again, good quarterbacks, they vibe with good quarterbacks.
They go and make their way.
Yeah, especially when you're young and up and coming, they see it.
I'd be like, oh,
Like,
look at them.
Like Joe Burrow. Everybody wants, like, they talk to Joe Burrow. Same thing with
They're gonna go and talk.
CJ Stroud. Everybody, like, they all, it's a club. You gotta be in it. If you ain't in it. If you ain't in it, no, if you ain't in it, it lets you know who you are in life. It's a pecking order in this thing, man.
Hey, it is. That's what I'm saying. I look at that too.
Facts.
I mean, I'm a people watcher. Yeah, you gotta be. I laugh. You know, the early career, I said, let me go over here and do some investigative reporting. That's what I call it. Let me go over here and do my version of investigative reporting. And that's one of the things I do. I want to see who's talking to who. And when I would see how they come out and there's Jayden. And then they go and talk to Jayden, I'll be like, they were looking for him.
Yeah, man. And like, to be honest, and I think when you want to see the hype because you see him from a distance, and not just his play, but he just seems so cool, right?
Yeah.
So you want to kind of, when you have that aura about you, people gravitate towards you. That's not just play; people gravitate towards you. It's the same when Mike Vick was in the league. Mm-hmm. Everybody gravitated towards Mike Vick. Steve Young was retired, and he gravitated to Mike Vick. They took a big liking towards Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you got that aura too, man, people are gonna gravitate towards you. That's just what it is. Unless you are a-hole, be real with you. No, like that's the only way people don't want to deal with you if you play at that high of a level. If you're a-hole. Other than that, they're gonna gravitate towards you. That's just like I think Todd said, real recognize real. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Todd said nobody went up to Sam Howell. Hey, that's dirty, dog. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. That's you said Tom Brady loved this game versus Detroit. Yeah, he should. He was a menace. That's why, because Jayden was a menace against Detroit. Sorry, Lions fans, about that too. He was a menace, though. He was a menace. But let me go back to.
I'm waiting for one question. I'm waiting for a question you're gonna ask me. I can't wait.
Well, I'm gonna ask this question about, like, cause you talk about use your clues and stuff, right? And you talk about Jonathan Jones. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that he was saying about Jonathan Jones. Inside, outside, versatility.
And go ahead, use your clues. I done asked about him about 3-4 times now.
Yeah, and Mikey, but what does this mean for Mikey in terms of, everybody doesn't know what's going on. If Mikey's playing inside, outside, what does it mean for Mikey?
Coach answered that. I think Nikki asked that question. He was like,
I'm not asking Nikki. I'm not asking about Nikki. I'm asking about Candi.
I'm just being fair. She asked.
I asking about her.
Saying she did it, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think but there's opportunity there. But what then happens is you already know you got a player in Mikey that could do either. Because you saw him make the switch last year and do very well.
Easily.
So if he got to go back, it's just fine.
Yeah, I kind of think that from my vantage point, I kind of think Mikey's going to be outside and Jonathan Jones is going to be inside. Mm-hmm. I just think that it is what it is. I don't feel like if it is all right. So let me ask this then, because I kind of think that's if you're talking about who's comparing the two, I think Mikey at this point in time is a better cornerback, so he could play outside. Just a better overall. True between the two in terms of physical build, and they're like not too far off a physical build. Mikey would be pretty much better off on the outside.
And then you got a healthy Marshawn.
That too, who's number 2 now. We're rocking the number 2.
I said, Dad, you just took De'Ami's number. I'm gonna get him.
You're rocking the number 2. Hey, that's a lot of pressure. I'm gonna hold you. I don't know if DBs know. That's a pressure number. To rock
well, not only
2.
that, he went back to his Ohio State number, right?
Yeah, but that's a pressure number. That was like Deion.
When you do something like that.
Yeah, he better be. You better be on Demo time. Hey.
Demon time. He'll be on.
He better be on Demon time.
Say that. What else you gonna be on?
Yeah, you better be on Demon time.
What else you going to be on? you know, you got traded from the team that drafted you, and everybody feels some type of way when they get traded from the team that drafted them. I don't care what anybody say, they're gonna feel some type of way when they get traded from the team that drafted them or released or whatever the case may be. Then you were injured, there's a lot going on. You go back to, I mean, the number is available.
I mean, I ain't mad at like that number, like the bad dudes rock too.
But that's also his Ohio State number, and I said, "Oh, he went back to his Ohio State number."
Yeah,
okay. So,
well, Mikey wearing one. Who said Mikey wearing one? Mikey changed his number. He ain't changed his number.
Debo got one, I think.
Yeah, Debo got one. You tripping? Mikey don't got no one.
Yeah.
He was 0 in college. Mikey was 0 in college, wasn't he?
I thought he was 0.
Yeah, Mikey was 0 in Michigan, I think. I believe. I could be wrong though. I think he was like, Mikey didn't really have a
Debo.
But yeah, to your point though, anyway, he better be like, for speaking on him, like, and I'm a Lattimore supporter. He is wearing 0. Yeah, that's a college. That's the number he wore. Yeah, he wore that in college.
Yeah,
Mikey wore 0 in college. That makes sense then. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's 0.
He better be on demon time. Like he better be the guy that I wanted to see.
That's your sign.
Yeah.
Use your clues. I'm waiting
for you to
clue.
clues.
Here was the thing that I was just like, does Adam Schefter normally announce number changes?
Yeah.
Does he do that? Maybe so. But all I'm saying is, use your clues, because I was like, oh, they done created an infographic. It's being announced.
Oh, they did.
Like it's breaking news. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be ready to watch this. They'll be like, Candi, what is this? Whoever Marshawn is up against, because clearly,
what's going on, homie?
Everybody is on some different type of time.
Oh yeah, hey, Deluxe, go blue. I know 0. And he was a baller when it was 0. I know.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
blue.
I mean, you got to,
he would, yeah. As the hey, Deluxe, I know this. As a Michigan fan, I know this, buddy. I know all of this.
All I'm saying is the secondary is better.
Huh? It should be. Like I will say this. It should be. Like I like Jonathan Jones. You know what I'm saying? It should be. I don't know. All right, let me ask you this question then. Let me fast forward this question. Does this move cancel them of, say, getting a cornerback in the first or second round?
Now they're the best available.
So it doesn't cancel that then. If there's the best available there, if there's a dog out there at corner.
I don't think so, but I don't think that's what they would go. But I don't think so. No.
Okay. Because I don't think so either. I don't think the move cancels that.
Oh no.
I think because I feel like they're still like, if you get a guy like one of the top corners in the draft that like one of the top corners or perceived top corners in the draft that slips to you, you're able to now still have Mikey, because Mikey's so versatile. You can have that corner play outside and Mikey go inside. But Mikey is the starter. It's no knock. Mikey is the starter. But you know what I mean? I think it would kind of work out. Yeah, okay. Candi said, what type of trash talking were the Lions fans and me to give?
They were showing love, you know. The media people.
Everybody, I tell you, man.
The media people cool.
This is wild. Like you're right, Taj. Michigan, Ohio State start at corners like cats and dogs living together. Yeah, that's wild. I know.
I mean,
that's wild.
In this, whoever this person is right here, put that.
Taj, that's Taj.
You know how to use your clues. I'm gonna start giving out internet awards for stuff like that. Like, you know how to use your clues. Okay,
Taj, that's wild. I know.
Everybody winning their college number. Okay.
Yeah, that is wild, man. That is wild. He said, Deluxe, I honestly think all position groups got better. Do you agree? Safety is probably the same. Yeah, I hold on. I stop every time I see this person. So, hey, Mama Waller, how you doing? I'll stop mid-sentence.
I was like, oh, he's going to say yes, my mom would be on. Hey, Mom.
All right. Now I'm actually answer your question, Deluxe. Nah, I don't think safety is the same. I only think they're better at safety. I think they need to get. I feel like they're a little bit worse at safety. That's my opinion.
I will say that I've been told I will be pleased.
You said you'd be pleased. We'll see.
I have had questions about that.
We'll see.
I've had questions about
I
that.
like to be wrong though. I'm not one of them dudes.
I've had questions about that, very, just you're direct, okay, to have a very objective conversation and just want to understand, but I think, I'm very pleased with safety. Yeah. And so we'll see.
I do think that
I trust this front office though, right? Yeah. If something did not work out, if something didn't work out and they had to go and get, someone else, then I think who they got is a fit.
Yeah. And I do think Quan Martin's going to take a jump though. So I'm going to put that out there. I think
Martin had a phenomenal season. We don't give enough credit to the last regime, but that was one we got to give him credit for.
No, he was a good one. No, he was a good one. They just messed up by trying. They just messed up by having him a cornerback.
Yeah, they used him the way he should be. And he had a fantastic year. I will always say, and I shared this week with a couple people, that was one of my favorite in-game moments is the Detroit game. And that pick six, that Quan Martin pick six. That's when I tried to see if it would work. Like, you're not supposed to yell in the press box, but if I yell in here, let me see if anybody will hear me. And I yelled, and nobody heard me. I said, it is loud in here. The people sitting next to me heard me. And I was like, am I going to get put out? They was like, nobody heard you. And I was like, that's why.
I do have like a mic. Yeah,
that was a CWall truth. You don't only get this kind of truth.
You only get it here. You only get it here. You only get it here, folks.
And then I had to admit to everybody this week, too, that I actually missed the Hail Mary. I was not sitting in my press box seat. The Hail Mary. I went ahead and admitted it. Like, look. I thought they were going to. I literally said to people that are very important, I thought y'all was going to lose. So I got up and went to the bathroom and got ready for the press conference. Like, oh, they going to lose. They were like, wow, you are really negative.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Paul. I'm gonna go back to you, Mike. I'm gonna go back to you. Whoa, I know you're trying to say my name. You got me saying the whole, but I know you're trying to say my name, Mike. That's you, my guy. Said, Wole, will you bet on us this season instead of the
No, you gotta keep that safe. I'm gonna answer.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it a being. Like, look, I'm gonna start it with picking the team. I'm not gonna. That's what I always do. Once they change up on me, that's when I start going left. Then that's when I'm like, all right. This ain't working. I always do this. I'll start picking the team for every game. That's what I do. But when they start losing, if they get on a losing streak, then I switch up. I'm like, nah, this ain't. Matter of fact, it don't even gotta be a real streak. It's got if it's a team that I think we should be and we lose to, I switch up real quick. So to answer your question, Mike, I'm very superstitious either way. It doesn't matter, buddy.
I'm keeping the same. It's working.
I'm very superstitious.
The only way you might get me to change, my mind a little bit is on the black uniforms, but I still do not.
They were starting to win. They was winning with them black uniforms now.
Wow. I just don't like
They was winning though. They was winning with those jerseys. That's why I was like, nah, start with the ops. Start with I can't. That hurts my feelings, man. I can't start with the ops off the rip, man. I don't like doing that. That's not how I normally go with my routine. So I'm giving y'all insight about my routine. That's how I roll.
Yeah, I'm keeping the same energy. I'm changing nothing.
Hey, Deluxe, I agree with you. Between defense, I don't know about why. Yeah, I guess wide receiver. I don't know about wide receiver.
I'm not convinced about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm with you with defensive end, cornerback, tackle, guard. I'm with that. I don't know about receiver, but you could be right though. You could be right. I'm not gonna argue and say you're wrong. Paul. They 3-0 in black. Candi. Candi ain't feeling it. She ain't feeling it.
Who they beat other than the Bears?
In black? No, it was winning with black.
The Titans?
I don't know. I don't be paying attention to I ain't gonna lie to you. I just care about W's, man. I don't be paying attention to the jerseys. I'm bad with that. I don't be caring about jerseys. I don't even care about the
bad rap last year. I said they were only going to win 7 games. That didn't happen. But if them 5 close games didn't happen, they would only won 7. So
look, I don't even care about the stadium as long as they win. That's how much. All I care about is wins. That's all I care about. She said they tried. Wait. Tired of looking like the Steelers JV. Hey, Eric, that's how you going? Sheesh. I ain't gonna lie, the black jerseys they savage though. I like the look. I just don't really care.
When else did they wear them? Oh, when they played Atlanta?
I think they did play. They did when they played Atlanta. They did.
Jayden wearing black.
Yeah, we got to. Oh yeah, I know. I'm with you, James. We got to shake that loser mentality, though. I
mean, yeah, I definitely.
I think we kind of over there. I think we have shaking shake. I think.
Yeah,
I think we have.
But
I think sports fans are naturally superstitious, regardless.
I think I got to be fair, right? Yeah. It's I guess 7, but they won 5 close games. But I'll play it fair. But I mean, hey, I'm gonna keep the superstition down.
Exactly. Sports fans are just naturally. A lot of sports fans are naturally superstitious. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not sold on. Okay. What about? I'm not gonna lie to you, Kinlaw. I like his personality. I'm not because I'm not gonna lie to you because he's been an underachiever. He has been an underachiever because he was supposed to be way better. Like when he coming out of college. We'll see. But he does. I'll say for the role and his size, he does fit. But because of size, he does fit what we've been asking about, a big body on the defensive line. But go ahead, Candi. I want you to kind of respond to it, to what George had to say right here about Kinlaw.
I will. They haven't been wrong yet.
Yeah, there you go.
This front office, I mean, have they?
Wrong. Like I don't know what's wrong. I mean, they play St. Juice a lot. They play St. Juice a lot. Other than playing St. Juice a lot, I don't think they've been wrong.
But I'm talking about who they brought in.
They was hitting home runs, man. They hitting home runs.
Right.
They hitting home runs.
Right.
Even Olamide had some big plays. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So in terms of who they have brought in.
Sure.
Right. And then you always got to go back to the references around the connections. Adam Peters drafted Kinlaw. So he knows exactly what he can be. He knows who he is, but what he can be on the field. Yeah. Which is important. And then the connection with Coach Daryl Tapp. So I just go back to the connections and go back to the fact that, okay, these guys have drafted, him in particular. He knows him. And I think that is a sign. They have not just been like, nothing they've done has been like, oh my gosh, they were just completely wrong about that one.
No, I'm with you. I do like that. I do think, I mean, they haven't been horrible. Like all the players they picked up, helped. To be real with you, I wasn't a big fan of. I don't think Colin Farrell was like. I said Colin Farrell. What's not Colin Farrell? Farrell.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. I call him Colin. Cleveland Farrell. Think about an actor and whatnot. Cleveland Farrell. I don't think he was.
Back. They re-signed him.
Yeah, I know. I think he's a good role player. I don't think he was a good start. So
I mean, but these are competition. This is a competition. And I appreciated Coach Quinn reminding us of that around the table. Wait a minute now, you all know how I get down. This is gonna be competition. Like coming up here talking about who gonna start, who gonna do this. What are we talking about here? No competition. So that's where you really got to go to this. And that helped me to level set this week. Like, right, instead of just trying to be like, where's this one gonna go? Where's that one gonna go? It's definitely going to be a competition. When people are legit going to be. Now, remember, that's when I got sold on Brandon Coleman was doing those one-on-ones. When he was going one-on-one against Dorrance and Cleveland. And I was like, yo, this kid is smoking them. Like, I was just like, what is anybody paying attention to what's happening out here? And then to make sure I was watching it correctly, I remember asking Coach Quinn, what's been some of your favorite, one-on-ones in practice so far? And the first one he mentioned was, he's like, I really think I like Brandon and Dorrance. They had a really good one. Yeah. They did, but, you just, it's going to be a good session.
I think that, but I mean, what I like about, I'm biased. Everybody knows me. I'm biased with the hometown kids. So that's why
he definitely has the right attitude. And hey, look,
he's a hometown kid.
And he laughed at my joke, so I appreciate that. I wasn't joking.
Jokes, I appreciate it.
I'm like, y'all want to talk about DC? I'm from PG County. I'm from Bowie.
I know. I heard that was hilarious. I heard that.
And just like a DC dude,
is he a real DC dude? Or is he a real DC dude?
Yes.
He's not a DC dude that really lives in the suburbs.
No.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's legit. And while he's legit,
just like the Bowie girls getting all in the DC boys business.
Yeah. What Deluxe say? Deluxe says Fowler got double-digit sacks, but at what cost? Best as a situational pass rusher. Agreed. I think Fowler was solid, but he was a situational pass rusher. Saw him against the run, which was a problem. I actually like Dorrance Armstrong. I thought he had a good year. I like Dorrance. I like the way he played. He's actually better than I thought he would be, to be real with you, to be totally
They play very well together. I mean, many of them, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's maybe just guys I just didn't know either, to be really honest. But I thought they put these guys in the positions to succeed and where they were best are, not making them do something that they're not. So I really, it was good.
Yeah, I was a fan. I thought I was actually highly impressed. He lived right around. He lived right around the corner from me. Oh, he did. Okay. So he did. Okay. So you're a city. Okay. Like I think Kinlaw has the physical tools. I'll be very interested to see how him and Payne work together.
Northeast.
You know what I mean? Oh, he's from North. You from Northeast? Sheesh. All right.
Yeah, he's from Northeast.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. He already.
He started talking. You hear that conversation with him and David Aldridge? I said, oh.
He a real city boy. Oh, he's a city boy for real. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. That's what's up. I'm definitely gonna root for him now. I'm gonna be biased. Folks, if y'all know me, I'm just biasing. I'm biased for locals. I'm sorry. No one's gonna change that for me. I'm gonna be biased for locals. Hey y'all, if they go wide receiver, he will have speed. Yeah, they need a taller receiver though too. Todd says, I'm still worried about our depth at linebacker. Louvu Wagner logged in a lot of minutes last year. I think McGee. I think they're ready for McGee to step up. They like you know this better than I. They do like McGee, right, Candi?
Very much so. Very much so. He was injured last year.
Yeah.
A couple times, right? He got injured in preseason. Then he got injured. Oh, where were we? He got injured in preseason. Then he got injured in midseason, and then he got injured week. I keep calling it week 1 of the playoffs, wild card weekend, and they put him on IR. But yes, to that. Also, don't forget Dominique Hampton is still on the roster.
Yeah, he's gonna be a linebacker. Yeah.
On the roster as a safety, but definitely more than likely bring him up as a linebacker. So don't forget about him as well, because that is a very, very important point. I
think that is.
We'll just see what they continue to do in terms of getting better at the position. And a lot of what they do, as everybody knows, in the success of even the secondary, is going to rely on your defensive line.
Yep. I told you, what is valuable other than Jayden and the quarterback position? Marcus Mariota. He was very valuable to this team and what he brought to the table. Candi asked Coach Quinn about Marcus Mariota as well. So take a listen.
Coach, bringing Marcus Mariota back, how important was that to the overall locker room and for Jayden's continued growth and development?
Yeah, and he really played well.
Yes.
And I think that's an important piece to it, because I never wanted to see he or any of his teammates, that's always at the top of the pile. Past that, it was really important. The teammate that he is, the respect that he has amongst not just the offensive players, but the entire team. There were some times in practice, like he was absolutely throwing dimes, against the defense and made it as hard a look, as you could possibly imagine. That speaks to who the competitor is. But to have him back, one as a player, two as a teammate, it was really important, and we're really, really pumped. I felt like I've known Marcus coaching against him for a while, but to actually coach him this year was all that I hoped it would be.
There you go. Yeah, so talk about that, man. Marcus, I was so happy we resigned. And folks, y'all know I was hating on Marcus Mariota in the offseason last year. I was like, we got this dude. I was so disgusted. I was so annoyed. But then all of a sudden, he changed me. He changed my soul. He changed my spirit. And that's hard to do. If you know me, sometimes I can be called a hater. I can hate. But he changed my hating spirit. So I want you to talk about Marcus Mariota. Like, I thought it was the biggest signing. I thought it was the biggest re-sign. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not exaggerating. I'm dead serious when I say this. I thought it was the biggest re-sign for this team, but you just talk about that.
I mean, everything that you said, right? With Marcus Mariota, he's had an interesting journey in the league, right? From what, Tennessee to
Tennessee, Philadelphia,
really Atlanta,
yeah.
And a lot, and not with always the brightest of feedback, if you will. On his time there or his exit there, but everybody has a story, and it's really about how they've evolved and what they've learned from, the way they've handled situations, maybe not as well as they could have or should have. But I'm gonna tell you, I tell people all the time, and this is the thing that when you cover people, like, for example, when I talk to Saints media and they are able to, not to bring up old stuff, but I'm just trying to compare the story, right? When I talk to Saints media about like Chase Young and, who Chase is in their, in their locker room and everything like that. And it's like, you know what? That's dope. I'm really happy for Chase. That's great. He got his deal. He's there and he's involved. So I think Marcus Mariota, from an evolution perspective of learning some things, having to go through some things, now you're somewhere where it's like, I didn't have this. I told this story before about having this joke with Coach Kingsbury. But where you going? You just gonna leave Jayden? You can't just leave Jayden. You can't just leave. No, right? Yeah. But you just can't leave. You just can't walk away when you're in a room like this. What is wrong with you? So I think that was, he's admired. Like, Jayden loves Marcus.
So does Wole.
And so does Wole.
I know. I love Marcus Mariota.
And
we can hang out together. I wouldn't say that at first. We can hang out together.
I think it was after the Atlanta game when I first asked Coach about Marcus. And so I went back to the Marcus question because I already knew, because I would see it. You would see it. And so you saw Marcus, what he did in the Carolina game when Jayden had to go out. Yeah. Right. He did it. And to Coach's point, he's a good football player. Like, let's get out, and right. Look at what he did when he needed to come in, when he needed to get something done, when they had to call on him, he got it done. And that day, fast forward to the Atlanta game, and then the whole world saw Marcus go out there to talk with Jayden. Jayden was gassed. He was exhausted. The team was exhausted. And he told Jayden to get up. Jayden tried to catch his breath, but he told him to get up. Told him to catch his breath. What he needed to do, and go out and win this football game. Right? But when you have somebody that is skilled, this is not a competition, can we do, this is something that I do on my show, I'm bring it here. Can we get a love?
Bring it here.
Can we get a love button, please, or a fire emoji for the fact that there is no quarterback controversy?
Yeah, fire emoji. Heart.
Oh my gosh. How many years of quarterback controversy? None.
There you go, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Fire emoji. Yeah.
Please. Where there is no jealousy, there is no hate. That was a competition. Let's be clear. Yes, during the game, during the season, you know what I'm saying? During the training camp, all of that. Yes, But look, he literally wants to see this kid succeed because his success is the team's success, everybody. Why would anybody want the quarterback to do bad? That is the same, so fans really need to be happy about that, and that the re-signing doesn't indicate anything other than Marcus Mariota did a daggone good job last year. And they love him, and he fits the Commanders standard, and Wole loves him.
I love him.
That was the sign, and that was the deal.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Where else is he going? Who doesn't want Wole to love him?
I love him, man. Testify.
Gotta be there. I'm like, that was what the world needed to see. It was not Coach Quinn that went out there and talked to Jayden. It was not Coach Kingsbury that went out there and talked to Jayden. Was it Coach Blau? Wasn't no coach. It was his teammate that went out there and talked to him because he knew what time it was. He could see it on him. He could read him. He knew he was exhausted. He'd go out there and talk to his guy. And it That's extraordinary. How often do you even see that in the league, period? Forget the fact that we're talking about a franchise that didn't know who the quarterback was going to be, and then there was always quarterback controversy. But where have you seen the vet come and talk to the rookie?
Mm-hmm.
Like in legit.
With no hate, though. Like,
with no hate.
Genuine. Like
they
real
can just
genuine.
and just know, let me go out here. And I asked Coach about that week because I had been watching their relationship blossom the whole season. And I'm like, I feel like we should be talking about this more.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, I was like, now we can talk about it. Because sometimes when we say things, I'm gonna say this from my perspective. It's like, oh, I don't want people to think in DMV terms that I'm sizing it, or it's like some things. It's like, let me just make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing, so that when I come out and report, and when I come and tell people, okay, use your clues on this, or this is a good, or this is something I would just pay attention to, it's accurate, right? Mm-hmm. But at such a critical moment as that, no, Jayden didn't have to experience that moment by himself. His teammate came out there and looked out for him, because that's what he needed to see. That's what he needed at that time. And it wasn't like it was a conversation of who gonna go talk to Jayden. It wasn't that. It was just organic. That's their relationship. I'm gonna tell you something else that I hope everyone paid attention to. And Coach Quinn ended up talking about this at the end of the regular season. Jayden Daniels was the happiest Commander fan in Dallas.
Yeah, that Dallas game was great.
At the end of that Dallas game.
Yeah.
And I called him. Yes, I know he's the quarterback, everybody. I know. But he turned into a fan on that sideline, like he was watching the game on TV, or like he had the honor of watching his favorite football player play. Like he had front row seats to the best game in the world. He was so happy. He was so jovial. He was just so... It was like watching him made me happy. Now, when Terry caught that last touchdown, I felt what he felt a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Look,
the Commanders beating the Cowboys always makes people happy.
It always feels good.
Make people happy.
Always feels good.
Like, yes,
I know.
And so that's just,
I'm with you.
But seriously,
you can't change that.
I'm going to give some passion and some energy to that topic. And that's why I asked about Marcus Mariota, because it's, any other year, any other time, that we would have been talking and writing about that for hours. Who's going to win? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? That ain't this. And it's a very, very good thing. He has helped Jayden. He's helped his teammates, not just Jayden, the team. The team looks out for Marcus. He's been extraordinary, and he's been a lot of fun to cover. Let me just say that. Very good guy.
But you could tell, like, to be honest with you, with past quarterbacks or past like people who don't know their roles within, and I know it sounds funny to say that, but it's just the truth, to know your role in the team and knowing how, like, it's all about creating synergy, right? Like when a backup plays well, right? They don't really, a lot of times in this area, in this market, they don't kind of play it to a point where, like, you can tell, like, there's a bad, and everybody wants the spot. So I'm not acting like you can't act like you don't want the spot. Obviously, Marcus Mariota would love to be starting for the Washington Commanders, like, right?
Absolutely,
obviously. But I think he sees the bigger goal, right? He sees the bigger goal, and there's situations where the backup really didn't care, like here in DC, like they didn't see the bigger goal. They just wanted that spot. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get that spot. I'm not here to knock your hustle. I get that. But the cool thing about Marcus Mariota is that it's easily after that Carolina game, he could have put a different type of energy out there easily. He could have said the right things and put out a different type of energy, and he didn't. He was just supportive of Jayden Daniels. That's all he was. He's supportive of Jayden. And like I think Paul said here in the chat, the brotherhood, that's a real thing, man. That's a real thing with this team, and you know this, and you cover it. I only hear it, but like for him to just have his back and throughout that whole situation, even after that Carolina game where he had an amazing game against the Carolina Panthers in call up when Jayden went down. and didn't give you that energy, like, you know what, like, I think, you know, I should be starting or anything like that, or give you that even notion that was out there, right? And even if he felt it, he didn't put it out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that, to me, it shows, one, he's just the person he is. You know, he won me over, man. Like Marcus Mariota, if you're listening to the show, man,
I'll tell him.
I'm your guy. I'm your guy now, man. Whatever you need, holler at me.
Like, Marcus, I'm so happy to see you, for real. And I'm gonna tell Coach Kingsbury that too. But the thing about it is, I also want to say this too from a use your clues perspective. Because not just Marcus Mariota, let's also be clear. The Commanders signed a rookie quarterback that stayed on the roster all year.
Jamal Hartman?
Yes.
I like Hartman too, though.
But there's no controversy because it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
You're dealing with professionals. They working out together. This ain't a competition. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Yeah.
Just super duper different. Right. And then when Marcus shared, now I will tell you, for Marcus's re-signing presser, I think I was multitasking or something, and I was listening to Marcus, but I was like, I talk to Marcus whenever we see him again, because I had a little bit too much to do. So I didn't chime in for a question for Marcus. I didn't pop on camera or anything because I was doing a little too much at that time. But when he mentioned, him and Sam are out, Jayden and Sam are out in Southern California, working out. I'll probably go out there, buy some dinner or something like that. There's no adversity in that group. So you got another rookie that they signed, undrafted, right? That would have been any other time, any other regime would have been like, oh, there's got to be something going on there. And then with the vet and the rookie, it's too many. This is not that, you all.
Which is dope.
We're dealing with, you got some professional people. You really are now fans of an NFL organization.
That's good. That's a good thing. It's great to have that here. Finally, we haven't seen that here, and it's just good to see that everybody. But but just like Deluxe said, if you're losing, people tend to act a certain way. When you're winning, it makes life a lot easier, right? So I do, but I do think it's different though with this team. I think it's just slightly different. You can just see from a distance. Candi, you're there, so you see it up close. So like, you know what I'm saying? So I trust you when you say, like, this is a real brotherhood and these guys are just different.
Was for real. I mean, and that's why I just asked Coach after the game, because I wanted somebody to say it out loud, right? Because if you say it, sometimes people don't get it. It's like, and it was hard to explain, honestly. I mean, I had probably said it on a few shows. I'm sure I said it with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's different around here, but specifically that relationship, because there are others that I can call out with Jayden and different people on the team and others on the team with one another. But that particular relationship, I was really happy. I was glad the world saw it. But we've been seeing that for a long time, And I was like, but at the particular time that was, because I will also say,
here you go, Sean. There you go.
That game.
You gotta trust him.
Yes. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Seriously, it means a lot when you all give me that feedback, because I want to make sure I'm accurate and giving you all what you want to know, right? And what's some of the burning questions out there, and give what I want to know, because I know what I'm looking at, and I'm trying to make sure I'm doing what I need to do based on what I'm trying to tell and the storylines that I'm tracking. And I will also say, and I think I've said this before, that game at that moment was probably the only time this season where I said to myself, oh, Jayden is tired. Like,
I like this one too. Yeah. I'm a Cole Turner supporter, so
I don't have any. I mean, he's, that's nice. That's thoughts on Cole Turner. I don't, he's still there. They're keeping the faith.
He's on practice squad, right?
Yeah, he's on the practice squad, so the faith is still there.
I hope he still plays.
The faith is still there, and I think that's a good thing. That the faith is still there.
I'm with you, Deluxe, man.
I'm going to assume he's still on the practice squad. Don't quote me, because I probably haven't.
I think he was. I think he is.
But I think he's still on the practice squad, so I think that's very good.
I hope I'm right though. If I'm wrong, then.
So I'm going to say yes to that because they definitely kept the tight end room together. I think I asked Adam Peters about that on Monday, but they talked about, he specifically talked about the re-signing of Zach Ertz and then signing of John Bates and what they think of him, which is extraordinary. I know some people not all, John Bates fans, but I'm telling you now, they see
Look,
something.
man, everybody know where I stand with him, so everybody else likes him. So I gotta be wrong.
Definitely had nothing but in terms of his blocking abilities. He said if he's one of the best, if not the best blocking tight end in the league, and that's big.
He can block. He can't catch though.
But he's definitely an extension of that offensive line. He
definitely.
Much of the offensive line success he helped with. A lot of those phenomenal plays, he really helped. He was a key contributor to those for sure.
Yeah. Paul said, "All right, okay, hard question. Do we need to upgrade the running back room?"
Oh, was that a question for me? Let me stop.
Is that I would say yes. I say yes. There's no. Let me answer this question. I will say yes. I'll say they need to upgrade. I think, but it's not a shot at anybody. It's more of I think they need more dynamic speed in the backfield. That's all, and that's it. And I feel like, and they need that element.
And I don't know, Austin Eckler's concussion history, injury history about that, because he had some really great moments that Austin Eckler did. He had some phenomenal moments. They re-signed Jeremy McNichols. Chris Rodriguez is back, so that's another room that they've kept together. But I would not be surprised if they made a move to upgrade at that position or drafted.
Yeah, I think everybody.
I wouldn't, because of what. It's just, it's just hard in this league where there is now such a focus on a powerful running back that can create in a difficult situation.
Hold on, I asked a question.
Now everybody's not going to be Saquon Barkley.
Eric, what's the truth about B-Rob? What do you mean?
I don't know what the truth is, because here's the other thing too.
Because I like B-Rob. I mean, everyone knows I like B-Rob.
I'm a B-Rob person, so But the thing of it becomes a. If you beef up the offensive line and you make some space there,
I agree with this. He's saying your point right here. He's saying your point right here.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what he's saying. My point that I was just making. The help on the offensive line will get you what you need. Let's be clear. A lot of the support and things that are able to happen on other teams is because of their powerful offensive lines.
Yeah.
And they're all different. Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson Jr., they all have great capabilities. If they decided to get another back, I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't shock me. But that offensive line that helps. That helps. But sometimes you got to create something out of nothing. You got to make sure you hold on to the football.
Yeah, I just think that where this offense is going, it's all about, and I say this for everything, you got a young quarterback. It's all about making life easy for the young quarterback, for Jayden. And you don't want to always have to grind out touchdowns, grind out this, grind out that. Sometimes you just need a corner, and this is rare. Not every, all backs can just go 80. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put that out there. Not all backs can just go 80. But I will say, when you got some guys in the draft who are capable of doing that, and if they fall to you, I just think that because you have the element of Jayden Daniels and just knowing that dynamic of having a Jayden and that type of running back in the backfield with the Deebo Samuels just makes you more dynamic in your offense. So it makes now Jayden doesn't have to work as hard. Jayden can now give you a screen pass and that's like a touchdown, or Jayden can hand you the ball and you go from 0 to 100. You know what I mean? That's the type of ability that you kind of would want. But again, I'm gonna say that that's a rare breed of running back though too.
Rare. Everybody can't be Saquon Barkley. Everybody's not Saquon, not Derrick Henry. I mean,
those are different beasts.
Different individuals.
Yeah, but I will say everybody know who I want for out this draft. That I think that's kind of like that. And that's the kid from Ohio State.
And they're going to bring somebody in, I'm sure. Yeah. And it's going to be a competition, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But
It is what it is. I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm not anti B-Rock. I just want folks
No,
to know.
I'm everybody knows.
But I'm not Eckler. The only thing of Eckler, I like Eckler a lot, but I just think that Eckler, I'm
not anti anybody.
Yeah, I'm anti like
they all.
But I'm gonna say about Eckler. I like Eckler a lot. But them concussions things, that concussion issue has been an issue with him for the last some odd years. So that's the thing that's gonna be with him. It's gonna be with him. So you just
that concerns me. I'm not gonna act like it doesn't. But before he got hurt, and let's even with the injuries, I think it's like an unspoken phenomenon that he made all pro.
That's a team.
In teams.
Yeah, he was good at teams. He was excellent.
You know just how good Austin Eckler was in teams. He was
really good at teams. He was really good. The issue,
he was injured, and he still made second team All Pro in teams.
Yeah,
that is excellent. And you know this team has forever struggled on teams.
Yeah,
Turner. Oh my gosh. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I mean, you know, that is a position that you almost have to be as strong and powerful as your offensive line in today's NFL because these defensive linemen are so fast.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Deluxe said needing a parent to Eckler based on injury and age. Agree. Can find that later rounds or undrafted this year. You could.
Yeah, you could. I mean, they're gonna add somebody.
It just depends who.
They're not going to add anybody to that position.
I agree with y'all saw what Jameer Gibbs done to us. Yeah, we need something like that. So I'm gonna be real with you. Like, all right, Sean. I think you said
that was a lot of issues with the run game, though.
But Jameer Gibbs, that man.
He's just a phenomenal.
But I'll say this though, to this point, I do think there's a capable back. My man in Ohio State. He has that gear. He has that secondary gear where he ran like a low 4.4. Like he's got that gear, and he's bigger too. Where I do think that Chavion could definitely help this team. Like I think he could help this team. Like, but I get also you may have more needs though than the running back. You know, depending on where you rank him. But I feel like you pair him with Jayden Daniels, Travion Henderson with Jayden Daniels, it's a problem. I think it's a serious problem.
You got it. I mean, if you keep the 29, you know, I keep saying that. If you keep the 29,
that's not a guarantee, too. That's definitely not a guarantee. I can see them train the 29, to be honest.
Use your clues, people. If you keep the 29, whatever, and I think I said it earlier too. If it's your first round or whoever your first pick is, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be 29 as your first pick, you know. But whatever you do, I mean, best at defensive end on your D line or running back, best available.
Nah, I'm with you. I agree. I do think that, but I think they can definitely try to add more.
In the words of Adam Peters, you only got like 5 picks now. He was like, "But you never know. You might end up with more." Oh, you might. Okay, that's what I picked up from his presser on Monday.
Here, Deluxe says, I want to upgrade to all positions. Saquon last year in New York was similar statistically to B-Rob this year.
And people tend to perform better when they got a grudge on their shoulder.
This is a good point. Saquon, he ain't Saquon though, but Saquon exploded with the dominant O-line.
I'm talking about Saquon, right?
But he's good. I know you're talking about. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
But it was that line too.
Telly, man, deep running back draft thought on drafting.
I'm not
drafting to number 2. Drafting on
drafting 2. I don't think I'm drafting 2.
He's on night 2. I'm thinking. You mean day 2? Drafted on day 2. Yeah, I think good drafters running back on day 2.
I mean, they might not go until day 2. Let me stop. Candi, be quiet.
I think he drafted running back in day 2. I mean, I think Travion could be in the second round though. I think Travion
he could fall.
He could be in the second round though, because there are other backs that people.
You better pick somebody on the first night because I'm out there all night on Thursday.
Travion, Roger, Clinton Port. Yeah, I know. Oh no. Oh, drafting. Oh, 2 running backs. Oh my bad.
That's what I thought he meant. 2.
Oh my bad. I'm tripping. 2 running backs.
I mean, I don't know.
I think they would draft 1 and probably sign an undrafted free agent.
Draft 1 and then sign 1.
Yeah, I don't think they drafting 2. I didn't think they drafted 2. Yeah, the streets bump, but you tell he was good. I don't DJ he's cool, but he ain't better. He ain't Travion, bro. I'm sorry. Travion split carries. If Travion had all the carries, he'd be like that.
Everybody is laughing at me. Yeah, just keep talking, Wole. Keep talking. I'm over here.
You know what I'm saying? I think they are draft. I think so you think they trading? You think they trading?
You know, it would be bizarre if they traded up.
You think trading up? Oh.
Mom must be getting tired.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We appreciate it.
Yeah, she's like, good night.
We appreciate you. I mean, it's 8:30.
But I just, all I'm saying is if they stay at 29.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel. Hey, Paul, he can run a 4.43. I don't care. I know what I saw on Saturdays. Folks weren't catching Travion was a demon.
R&B is just.
They want you spilling the tea, Candi. That's what the folks.
I mean, everybody's paying attention. I was just like, never mind.
The folks out here trying to get you to spill all the tea. They don't want subliminals, Candi. They want it all.
Adam Peters said it. I didn't say it. He literally was like, "Oh, we might end up with more." And I'm like,
"Yeah, everybody. I think they're getting more picks, though. I agree." To the streets,
but I don't know. But 29 is interesting.
My man, tell these.
Or they could just stay, but people be calling. They be.
I think they definitely get more picks since they traded a pick away. I think they definitely added more picks. Trade up to get. Oh no, I don't think so. He going to like the Cowboys or something like that.
It's deep for defensive ends and running backs for sure.
Yeah, I want defensive end. I think the defensive end is definitely the first.
I think they really, really are passionate about.
Yeah, these are what they're passionate about. What defensive end?
Which ones they really want? Commanders.
Yeah. Like I want a defensive end. I feel like that's
use your clues. Use your clues, everybody. Let me go back to you. Now I'm gonna give you this one. Now you got to do your own research because I can't just be out here giving.
Go
ahead. But there's a reason why I asked about their leadership.
Yeah. Tell them, yeah.
Team captains.
Yeah.
Right. You got to mirror how they moving.
Yeah.
So if you start to look at players that you that you like in the draft, okay, really be able to look at, okay, well, which one of them were their team captains or captains somewhere in their facility, on their campus, in their life. That is very important.
There you go. Everybody.
So check for the team captains. All
right. You heard she said using the clues. Check. You heard it from Bernard. You know what I mean? All right. Earl has a question for you, Candi. Do you think they would trade B-Rob on draft day to gain an extra pick and draft a running back?
Anybody could get traded.
Anybody could. She said anybody could get traded. Telly, I see you, Telly. I like your response here.
Don't trade me.
We have no young talent around Jayden on the offense. We need some young skill positions. Too many.
That's not necessarily true. I'm gonna tell you why. Because let's be. You got. Well, Lay's not gonna like this one, but there's still Luke McCaffrey and Ben.
Oh God, Lee, what are we doing?
Okay.
Here? Oh God.
It is. I'm just telling the facts.
I know he's on a roster. He is on a roster. Luke is on a roster
that this regime drafted.
Yeah, Luke is on a roster.
They drafted him. Just saying.
Yeah, Luke's on a roster, man. He's on a roster.
Good point. Smart person there. My next internet gift is to Deluxe.
His name
Captains
is McCaffrey.
A lot of games played. Captains, a lot of games played.
Yeah, his name is McCaffrey. That's awesome. I love his name.
Just saying.
His name is amazing. It's a great name, man. It's an amazing name.
But don't forget they did draft them last year.
I know. Look, I will say this: not every player,
and some of them we still got to do the competition thing too. So this is this is far from over. Let's be, this is far from done.
Luke stayed open last year with no touches. Everybody keeps saying stay open, man. What's up, man? He's open.
Listen, it's a possibility.
Everybody stays open, man. So you blaming Jayden? Don't be blaming Jayden.
No, we're not doing that.
Not you. I'm talking about Bernard. Don't be blaming Jayden for Luke not getting the ball.
It's just all I'm saying is it's I'm looking at the comment right now because anybody can get traded. Well,
who said that?
I see the comment. It's like, see, well, anybody can get traded. Well,
I'm trying to pull it up. I can't.
Anybody can.
Anybody get traded. Look. Wait. Yeah, here you go. Luke, he did play well on specials. Look. Deluxe, some folks think I'm a hater. He played great at special, man.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just said that.
He was drafted based on potential upside. No, I said special team. That's all I'm saying.
Well, wait, and then you talking about young players. We got to back that all the way back. And here's why: because he's got Luke, you got Ben, you got Brandon Coleman. Everybody, okay?
He's talking about skill. He's talking about like explosive. I'll give it like Telly. He's talking about like he's talking about receiver and running back. That's what he's talking about and tight end.
Well, he still got somebody ever so you did.
Yeah, you got Ben Sennett.
I mean, I wouldn't count Chris Rodriguez out either, guys.
I mean, I like Chris. He ain't gonna start though, but I like Chris though.
No.
They be screwing with Chris's money. They don't like Chris. They don't like Chris the way I like Chris. They drafted JD5 too last year. I know they did. They drafted Ben Sennett. Look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. Every draft pick you don't hit a home run on every draft pick. Your goal is to hit a home run on is to be good.
I will say I was quite surprised though. Many of their draft picks played. The only one that didn't. Well, Dominique played a couple games.
He played, but he didn't. I mean, they did well. Like they didn't make impacts.
Right. But it was on teams. But these rookies, the rookies they drafted.
No, the top ones did. Like Coleman,
Javante
played obviously, and Mikey. Those are the three.
Well, Javante and Johnny played. Javante,
I mean, they were like role. They were. I mean, I like Baptiste. So I'm not going like I'm not.
Yeah,
going,
they play. We gotta remember though.
No. I'm not saying they like.
Yeah,
play,
I'm saying like
play.
everybody just.
Like you can play. I'm cool with playing. Like
so, look, you already look at the positions that they drafted last year. Which positions did they not draft? Use your clues.
Yeah, Chris is a 3-down back. I mean, I like Chris Rodriguez. I do like him too. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is like for instance, this is how fair I am in my assessment. So I don't want people to think I'm biased. Like let people understand. I actually like Benson a lot. Like I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he didn't do anything. But again, I like him a lot though. But I like him. So I want to.
They will have to perform this year though. Yeah. Let me also be clear. If they, they're rookies, but they got time. But he did great, going back to this, on teams, right? So you got Luke McCaffrey on teams, you got Benson on teams. Okay, cool. But this, then to your point, but because they were drafted last year, but now this is the year you have to perform.
Yeah, because
you have to compete, you have to perform. Because this is too. They would never probably say that out loud, but if I'm using my clues correctly on the type of time that these people are on, they are going to have to perform and be ready for that. But then they do have picks and they do intend to use them.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is like this is. Let me say it this way, and it's going to sound like I'm an a-hole, but it's okay. I'm going to say it this way, like. The potential Luke McCaffrey isn't stopping me from getting another wide receiver.
If there's one available that
he's not stopping me. He's not. That's what I'm saying.
But let's go back to this. They did get another wide receiver.
I know they did. That's what I'm saying.
They can also come out the backfield. Everybody.
Yeah,
and they also be your returner.
And then they got Noah Brown, and they re-signed Noah Brown.
I mean, like you can definitely. Luke
ain't stopping me. Luke ain't stopping me from like getting other dudes. Like
it's got to be somebody that they're not going to use as depth.
This is why it's different. Like I'm gonna say this. It's like this, and to be real talk.
Yes, I think that's a kicker.
Brandon Coleman ain't stopped. Look, Brandon Coleman stopped them from getting another tackle. That's how good Brandon Coleman was.
You can move them.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's that good.
You never know what the difference would be had Sam Cosmi not tore his ACL.
Yeah, but I think that regardless of the fact
that
I don't think it plays a part. I think Brandon Coleman I would say this. I think Brandon Coleman would be starting regardless. Not a left tackle. They would probably went and got
like I'm not saying anything about
what happened. What do you say? He got me thinking to get traded.
All I'm saying is, I'm not. I'm not saying this, Luke. I'm just saying y'all gonna remember this conversation on April the 3rd. You could be like, you know what she did say, and I'll be like,
look, man, look, you know what? And I want everybody to know this. Just like Mariota changed my soul, Luke McCaffrey can change my soul as a receiver, as a special teamer. I ain't gonna lie. As a special teamer, he changed my soul. Like as a special teamer.
but he had to come in late in the clutch though, when OZ, had a couple muff punts.
Yeah, because OZ. Let me.
And you all remember now. Also remember this. It's going to be a big year for teams. It's going to be a big year for teams because of the rule they changed with the touchback.
Oh yeah, that rule's dope.
That's going to be big. Please use your clues on this one. So teams is going to be important. Your returner is going to be important. And the energy that they're bringing on the special team, that's going to be big because they have to get that ball in the touchback. Ball going on the 35. I think it is, right?
Yeah, 35. It's on the 35. 35, yeah.
Automatic to the 35. So they're going to be trying to get that ball in, you know what I mean? This is going to be something. This is going to be something.
It's going to
be something. Because now people not just going to be purposely just putting the ball, touchback. No. So your kicker, your punter is going to have to be doing something. That is a very important point that not enough people are talking about on how that is going to impact games in a positive way. You want teams to be explosive. I'm a special teamer, so I've been paying attention to that rule and the work they've been doing on that rule. Like, your returner gonna have to be lit.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna have to be like that. Your return gonna have to be like that for real, because folks are not going to take 35. They're going to kick the ball off.
No, they're not taking 35.
No, they're going to kick the ball off. They're going to kick to you. Yeah, that 35 is darn it. Like
you can fair catch it if you like, but they're not going to be just doing stuff on purpose.
Nah,
now
35, like the 35 yard, like starting the ball at 35.
Starting the ball at 35.
That's crazy. Like you're already a couple of throws in the field goal range for real.
You halfway in the middle of the field.
Yeah, in today's NFL, you're a couple of throws away from a field goal, at least a field goal.
So that becomes it is more change to the kickoff than people realize.
Yeah, I agree. So, Candi, let's go back to like the meeting. What did you learn from the meeting? What other cool things did you learn from the meeting in terms of the Washington Commanders?
I feel like somebody asked me before about Trey Hendrickson.
I asked you about that.
Yeah, I did my little so on AFC Day, because that was like Ravens Day. I said, I'm gonna be the camera person. Ooh. Yeah. So I was like, let me go be the camera person. So I did like the behind the scenes. I don't know if you all saw like the behind the scenes footage. So I did it for the AFC Coaches Day, behind the scenes of the coach media. But before I did all that, and that was also the day I asked Coach Cohen from the Jags about Diami. So if you didn't see that, I did ask him about what he liked in Diami. We're not gonna talk about that, but go check it out on the Bowie TV.
Yeah, Bowie TV, check it out. So, also those clips, the long videos, check them out on Bowie TV.
Yeah,
check them all out.
Yeah, check them all out. I appreciate that. So I went to the Zach Taylor table, the Cincinnati Bengals head coach, because I was like, well, are they going to trade on that? Because it feels like they have to. And they were definitely, Coach Taylor was just talking about patience and talking about they're trying to work through it. So it sounds like they are trying to trade him.
Okay.
But it's just not, working with his agent, or maybe I don't know. But it sounds like it's getting a little.
They can't get him back. They can't really sign him.
Has been making made comments during the week about, I guess not feeling like they should have to be patient. They just need to, kind of do what they say.
Give him money. Give him his money.
Give him what they want to give him, or just accept the trade deals that are presented.
I mean, buddy, they had to pay.
He's in a rough spot. He's in a rough spot.
He ain't more valuable. It's just unfortunate he's not more valuable than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. That's just what it came down to. So now, to his point, either get rid of him or not. Better come down.
Is this something that could potentially happen, like on a draft night to a team? A lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like typically. I don't really. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The better, you better come down to a second for him, like a second rounder. I'm gonna lie to you. I'd rather draft a edge rusher in the first round than trade for Trey Henderson. That's my preference, though. I think to your point, I think the D line, there's so many strong dudes at the D line at edge that I take my chance of drafting the edge.
Well, I think that's what the problem is. I think that's the challenge. Myles Garrett ended up staying with his team, but he got a bag for staying with his team, right?
Yeah.
But this draft class is kind of like, ooh, the timing on
it's like
giving him permission to trade is kind of bad because this draft class is so deep at defensive line, specifically edge rush.
Yeah.
So teams are like, hey, either you're gonna come down on your asking price, or we just gonna draft us one because the Commanders are not the only team they need, So
I like this fact too. Washington hasn't drafted for anybody that needed an immediate extension.
And the Commanders already got people they gotta pay.
Yeah. So and it's a fact. I prefer the edge rusher than trade. Yeah, trade. Yeah, I do. I just prefer an edge rusher that you can get a guy under a rookie deal that has potential, that can be for you for cheap, and can possibly if you draft and knowing how this team, we just talked about their track record, their body of work, how this team drafts. I'm gonna trust the edge rusher they bring. I'd take that over. I'm sorry, don't knock on Trey Hendrickson, but I'll take that over Trey Hendrickson.
It was a rough time to put him on the block like that.
Yeah, especially with the money element of it. Like you getting a rookie dude on a rookie deal who can give you some type of impact. I think I would go that route rather than just flipping over.
I really like Trey Hendrickson.
And not knock on him. And knock on him.
But Brandon Coleman had a good game. He did
against him. Yeah, he played him well. Yeah.
He played well. He held his own.
Mm-hmm.
So So that's what I went at. I thought that was interesting. Always tush push situation was interesting. That got tabled. 16 teams did vote to ban it.
I know.
They needed 24.
Enough folks that work hard enough to ban it. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Right. They needed 24 votes to ban it.
Trash
so NFL. 16 voted to ban it. And a lot of it historically, and I don't know, you all may know the historical background of what the issue is. It's just the notion that a player can be pushed. Right?
I hate that. I do. I agree. I think it's
which
dumb.
was taken out.
Yeah.
Right. And that was but the whole notion around pushing was taken out, I guess, of the bylaws like 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they started doing it, because there was no rule against it. So he did have an excellent game against Myles Garrett. That's one of the games.
He did, though, Deluxe. He sure did. Sure did. That's why I think he'll play
tackle. He did his thing last year. He wasn't going up against no slouches, man.
Nah, he wasn't.
He did his thing. So Brandon, if you're watching or listening at one point, I'm with you on that one. So and the defense can't do it, right? And I have different takes on this. Of course, Coach Quinn's take was he spends more time thinking about how to stop it. So
and they line off sides too. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like about the play. I think they automatically line off sides a lot. They don't ever call it. Like if it was officiated correctly, it would definitely hinder. If they officiated correctly, a lot of times they would be pushed back 5 extra yards because they're lining off sides.
The thing, funny enough, we always kind of laugh about this. Like, did Frankie Louvu, like, how much of attention did him doing all that in the NFC Championship game?
It's a wrong MVP.
Make it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because especially when they were like, we're going to award a touchdown, and everybody was like, what are you talking about? Like, since when did that? Like, how did that happen? Yeah. And so but 16 teams did vote to ban it. So that's interesting. They need to have, but not enough, obviously, It'll be interesting, but it will continue. They're still talking about the data. There's not enough data to really prove that it will cause injuries. It seems like it's targeted toward.
I don't think it's causing injuries. I just think it's just.
Now, I will tell you my thought, and I said this a couple times to a couple people earlier this week and throughout the week, which was, all right, well then either figure out how to stop it, or you create a play and you start pushing people.
Yeah, the only problem. No, I'm gonna say this much.
I mean, if everybody starts doing it, then it'll be a problem. You know what I mean?
The only issue is that
problem right now.
Yeah, the only issue is not. I'm gonna be real. Like it's they do it the best. Nobody does it better.
I mean, the issue is, and they just won the Super Bowl.
And they do it the best.
Clear, like they do it the best. It's their play.
It's their play.
So it's like you gotta how do you outsmart The smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's all come up with a push play.
Yeah, because and also God given this actually there is some God given ability to strength. With Jalen Hurts lower half, like
it's genius.
Yeah, his power with his leg is good enough for him too. So it's a little bit of both.
I thought that was good. It's always good. I mean, it's definitely the VIPs of the sports industry. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I mean? And everybody is there to get the hottest stories. I think there'll probably be a little bit of friction with Michael Parsons and Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones made a little comment about Michael Parsons' agent. And then they got the tweeting, and you know how that go when they start tweeting and doing all the tweets. So, it was a tweet war. And then I was just like, okay.
Micah, come here. Come on home, Micah.
I feel like that was something of importance, kind of just highlight tweet war. International games, who knows what happens? It looks like now the Chiefs may be the front runner for Brazil, but does it mean the Commanders aren't out of the running for Brazil and or Spain, or it would be or Spain, because that would be week 1. Getting the feel, and this is going to lead me to my other thing, that if there was a week 1 matchup, there might be like a Detroit versus Eagles matchup week 1. And I was like, why?
Really?
For what? The Washington Commanders. Now, that's when I was like, okay, tell me more. I'd like to hear this reasoning, and I'm not going to tell who was talking to, But, overtime rules. Let me go to overtime rules first, and then we're going to go into the review.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Which is basically now, each team will get a chance. Overtime, 10 minutes in the regular season.
Okay.
Each team will have an opportunity to score. Okay, a touchdown. I think that's the rule, right? And you got to score a touchdown. Yes, not a field goal. Each team, but 10 minutes after the 10 minutes is up, game over. So I think. Okay, y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Or am I frozen? Can y'all still hear
me?
No,
you're good now. You're good.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? I feel like I'm
you're good now. You froze a little bit. You're good now. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So what actually came up in the competition committee, they were like, oh yeah, I think it was like the Washington Commanders that almost had like an 8-minute drive.
Yeah, we did. We killed that
last year.
Yeah.
So here's the reality. When the time runs out, the time runs out.
Yeah.
But
we killed that.
So it's not going to be in your best interest. Point blank period. Keep the ball. Whoever wins the coin toss, be smart. Don't give them the ball back still. Take them all the time. And let's just see.
Deluxe got a good question. Deluxe has a good question.
But they only have 10 minutes.
Yeah. He says, would Michael Parsons get the Commanders flag if available? Does he fit the mold of a player they target?
Anybody can fit whatever
they
like.
Dan Quinn loves him. So yes, I'll answer that question.
He loves Dan Quinn.
The feeling's mutual, and I love Micah too. I love you, Micah. Come.
The Commanders might get a lot more primetime games, maybe like around 5 or so.
Oh yeah, they should though. They should.
Jayden Daniels is a very popular player. So.
Thanks.
He's good for international business. He's good for all business right now. So
yeah, man.
Jayden's
special, man.
Jayden's special. So to the question about Thanksgiving or Christmas, both. It's like I'm just saying.
Oh
yeah. Gift, either way you look at it. So
yeah, I think Jayden's getting big Christmas. He's definitely getting Thanksgiving. He's getting the thing. It's gonna be Cowboys. It's gonna be Cowboys Commanders at Thanksgiving. No one's gonna. I know this. I'm pretty confident it's gonna be Cowboys. Like because of Jayden, it's gonna be Cowboys Commanders Thanksgiving.
I was about to say, yeah, that was that terrible Thanksgiving game. Ooh, that was so bad.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely be that game.
The other year. But anyway, so I mean, we've been thinking that they were going to Spain or something week 1. But because the Dolphins, they play the Dolphins, and they're the home team week 1. But they can play the Ravens too in Spain. You never know, because they got to play the Ravens too this year. So I don't know. Maybe they don't get any international games, but it doesn't matter.
The Sunday night season opener. It's possible.
So let's see. Oh,
Flowers
you're welcome. Thank
Flowers
you. You're welcome. I like flowers. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. What else? Okay, so week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Thursday night. I'm not gonna tell who said it because I don't do all that, right?
Yeah, don't snitch.
I know snitch.
I know you're a snitch. I know.
Myself. And so that's so funny. Y'all going to do so the Commanders got the program rights now with the Dubai. So Dubai will be Dubai. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna Dubai.
Yeah, Commanders got Dubai. Of course they did. But anyway. I would definitely go to Dubai. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the outfits I can have in Dubai? What? With all this, and that's what I'm like, he only cares about her outfits. Well, listen, I don't mind wearing all the I don't care. I can come up with anything. But let me get back to what I really wanted to kind of complain about.
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is they were like, oh, it'll probably be Detroit and Philly week 1, Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I sat down. I was like, I want to hear this. Oh, because that's the game most people would want to watch. Why?
Y'all don't get why it's the game. Why is that the game though? Is it because they expected them to go to them to play at the NFC Championship game and Washington messed it up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what did I learn? And I have not said this out loud to anybody, and I could have said it to a couple people that read it. I feel like everybody was in a very good mood. I didn't want to upset nobody, but I decided to do it today. People really don't think what they watch with the Washington Commanders is real.
It's real. No, they're
it's luck. Mm-hmm. Those 5 close games, luck. Not believers. It's got to stick.
They're gonna have to learn.
That's a tall task. But that conversation let me know I really think these people just got lucky. It may be. But it's definitely like they just got lucky.
So really they don't believe that the Commanders are there. They're ready to like take over the league. They don't believe it.
No.
Interesting.
Really, really like Jayden Daniels. People love Jayden Daniels, but absolutely love Dan Quinn. Think Adam Peters is great, but in terms of the team, they are creating or have created. No, I think it was so many close games that it is coming off as they got lucky.
Interesting. Because my opinion, I feel like Jayden.
It definitely wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough for them.
It wasn't enough. And I mean, and maybe it shouldn't be, right? Maybe it's like, well, it's just one season. Can't nobody just, you just like one magical.
We're on Detroit.
Get all excited over one season. So that's what it feels like. Like this is one good season, whatever. So
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think the Eagles blew us out. So I don't know. Maybe they think differently because they blew us out. I hate that blowout. I hate to be blown out by the Eagles. Maybe. I don't know. That blowout really annoys me. Like that blowout, I think it would have been different if the game was close.
They feel like Detroit and you know
what I'm saying? Like that blowout, I feel like it wasn't a blowout. Maybe they don't think that way. You think the blowout plays a factor?
I think they just I don't know if it's the blowout, much less they just think it was luck. It was 5 close games is a lot of close games.
That's true.
That goes back to the guess of, I only guess they would win 7, right? Okay, but and let's be fair, and I appreciate Zach Ertz kept it a buck that day. 5 games is a lot to win close. If you take those 5 games away, then what does the season look like, right? So I think what that let me know is, wow, Commanders media, y'all had a great season. That was probably a whole lot of fun. Jayden Daniels is dope. Dan Quinn is cool. It's almost like it'll all be back to normal next year. So, but I also have learned that the league likes competition. They like different teams being in the playoffs. It's not like the same thing all the time. So it's got to stick. That's what let me know. It let me know that, okay, people are like, wow, they just lucked up. They hit on the quarterback and everything else just fell into place last year. Hail Mary, that people just talk about that for the rest of their life. The donk to get into the divisional round. I mean, all the things. But it's like, so what? But it just let me know they got to make it stick. This is a team that is going to consistently compete and that you will have to consistently prepare for. Not just preparing for Jayden Daniels, although he is a threat for sure. But this is now a team that has to have multiple weapons on it in order for you to take them seriously.
Yeah, I mean, winning 2 playoff games, I'm with you, Paul. Like, they should have been believers after winning 2
I don't know how I can see maybe the donk to get into the division.
Yeah.
But that Detroit game was a fair and square win.
That was like they was really
That was fair and square.
That's Jared Goff. They turned him over.
They turned him over. You got smoked. And just go ahead and admit it. Because the defense, I remember I came in there and I told y'all, I said, this is the game they have to get those turnovers. And they did. And I said, I knew what time it was when I was watching Dan Campbell's press conference and he talked about how dangerous Jayden Daniels was. And that's when I went and I looked at the numbers and I said, ooh, the Detroit defense ain't all that good.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of. To be fair to them,
they missed a lot of people. The injuries hurt them. I'm talking about at that point in time.
But that team wasn't better than. But that team wasn't better.
Early in the season, they were rocking. Oh my gosh!
Agreed.
Grief. But they had ended up getting some injuries along the way.
Yeah,
that really messed them up. But that record still had them so far up.
You're right. Totally right. You're totally right.
That it's just. But it's got to be more than 1 year.
Yeah, I totally agree.
There's got to be more than 1 year of 12 wins.
True. Or competing at the highest level. That's how I like to
competing at the highest level. You got to have people on the ropes.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, so before we knock this show out, let our listeners know how they can catch you on social media and also catch Bowie TV's great content. It's amazing content.
Thank you, Wole. You all can follow me on X at CWall SE. Please subscribe to Bowie TV on YouTube. If you are in the area of Bowie, Maryland, have not cut your cable, please, you can turn to Verizon Channel 11 or Comcast Xfinity Channel 77. Bowie TV runs 24/7, 365. Follow us on Facebook now at Bowie TV. We everywhere. So Bowie TV Sports, you can follow me at Candi Waller on Facebook or CWall. You can literally catch us everywhere now.
All right, so on Facebook now, so I can now confirm.
Yes, Facebook. Yes, that ain't
cool.
real.
All right, got it.
Yeah. So Facebook is at Bowie TV, and it might even say official Bowie TV, but the name is Bowie TV. I probably sent you an invite to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send me. Did you send it already?
I already did.
Okay. All right. Let me check again now. Okay. Let me check again. All right. If I haven't, I'll definitely find it because I was like, all right, I was waiting for that too. Yeah. Sean said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go, Candi. Yeah.
Thank you all. I feel like this week was like Candi. I guess because I was sitting next to DQ, but.
No, man, look, it's always Candi because Candi be killing it. Let's let that be known. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Candi be killing it. Folks know what time it is when Candi's out there. You know what I'm saying? You getting the real when Candi's out there. So anytime that content, we see it on YouTube, or we see it on X, or we see it on Facebook, now Facebook, and we see it on Instagram. You already know what time it is, man. Like Bernard said, she goated. The GOAT. You know what I mean? She goated, bro. Like you can
actually go. I see this comment about Richmond, and thank you so much, Bernard. You can go to the website too. and watch the channel live on bcmctv.org. If you follow the Bowie TV YouTube page or the Facebook page, it'll be all up there.
Yeah.
Because you can watch the channel live on the website too, but the website might get confused. So make sure you're following those and you'll get to the website.
All right, yeah. Tell you. Love you. Yeah, tell you. Man, I appreciate you, Telly, man. You my guy, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
appreciate everybody.
That's what's up. Thank you all so much for listening to me, Wole. We can talk about this sports stuff, the Commanders specifically, all day.
Yeah, sure can. All right, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, pulling up. I got another show to do it like at 9:30. So I'm like,
I'm about to say, don't you have a show? I mean, we're doing a show. But
I'm punishing myself for missing multiple weeks. So this is like my punishment day. So
that means all y'all gotta stay. Y'all still gotta go and watch Wole do his other show.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. All Bergen Go, everything. I'll be doing that. Another topic. I'll chill. I'll probably chill most. I'll let the fellas handle most of it. But I'll be on. Though. I want to make sure that folks see me because I feel like I haven't been seen for a hot second. So I'll let folks see me and think that so they can know I'm okay. But folks like, you okay? Like like I said, I was sick. My man George said, you had the flu. It's like, George, I got a cold. I don't got the flu. Don't try to kill me off now, bro. Come on now. What we doing here? Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up and tuning in. Anyway, you were listening to the Urban Sports Scene by Ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.